With that, we understand something that's very, very important, and that is the real pleasure, the greatest pleasure that you can have in life is where? Roman is where? Is where? Where's the greatest pleasure that you can have in life? The real pleasure is what? Is after 120 years, when a person is Gan Eden. Over there, it's the greatest pleasure because you're having pleasure from the Ziva Shekhinah. The Ziva Shekhinah, it's the great, you can take all the pleasures in this world. And I'm being serious, by the way. Take every single pleasure in this whole world, from the beginning of creation till the end of the creation, whatever you can think of, from the beginning of the creation till the end of the creation, take it in a caspel, the biggest Hana, whatever you think of, it doesn't equal up to the waiting room when he's sitting down to walk into Gan Eden. It doesn't equal up to the sniff of the waiting room of the outside of Gan Eden. It's true. Mark my words. You'll see after 120, you live a happy and long, healthy life. We want to live as long as possible so we can keep on serving Hashem. Because after that, once you get into Gan Eden, that's it. There's no more mitzvot. You cannot do another mitzvah. That's it. It's gone. So therefore, you have to hustle now. You have to do now. Now he writes, that's in the real world, Olam Haba. That's where the real pleasure, the greatest pleasure you can find. You are born for that era, that pleasure. So if I'm born to get that pleasure, why am I born in this world? Let me be born straight in Olam Haba. And the answer is very simple. The answer is, it's called Nahama de Chisufa. What's Nahama de Chisufa? Nahama de Chisufa means embarrassed bread. What does that mean? I'll give you an example. Let's say your father is extremely wealthy and he can support you forever. You're married with 7 kids, 8 kids, 10 kids, and every day, every Sunday he gives you, remember when you were younger, he gave you allowance? Or he didn't give you allowance? You remember he gave you allowance? He gave you allowance or no? He did. He had to work for it. Right? But you get to a point where what? Where you yourself, you want to feel like it's on your own. Why? You get more pleasure, like, I did it on my own. I made it on my own. I feel good, right? Same thing. I don't know who could have created you straight in Gan Eden. He didn't have to come to this world, but he came through this world in order to have challenges and tribulations and things like that, so you can pass that, so you can actually enjoy your success, that you feel you're successful through what you actually created. You understand? There's nobody in this world that does not have any challenges. There's nobody. There's nobody came and was born in this world without any challenge. Every single person that you know out there, doesn't make a difference. Rich, poor, doesn't make a difference. Definitely went through challenges in their life, through tests in their life, definitely. And you have to understand, through those tests, you pass them, you pass those trials, tribulations, that already builds your muscle of resistance, how you can handle, and like that, Hakadosh will reward you. I'll give you an example. You have a wealthy guy, very wealthy guy, and he's in business. All of a sudden, he has one of the biggest accounts. Oh my goodness, what's going on? My biggest account. They might not buy from me anymore. Oh my goodness. That's the time where you have to have your emunah on the strongest level. That's the time when you say, Borei Olam, I trust in you. And when you do that, you're going to get Gan Eden for doing that. And you'll see that it'll actually work out. Okay, let's say the big buyer didn't buy anymore. Another big buyer will come. Triple the amount. Oh, and you're going to say, Baruch Hashem, I didn't. Baruch Hashem, this big buyer stopped because I got a triple big buyer, and I would never get the big buyer without this buyer stopping for me. You heard what I just said? It's a very important point I just said. Sometimes in life you see what happened? I had a big customer. Oh my goodness, he's gone. Oh my goodness, what should I do? Oh, what should I do? You're going crazy. Call the rabbi. Good, call the rabbi. The rabbi will give you confidence to give you emunah. He'll give you a boost of emunah. You know how you go to the doctor, sometimes he gives you a shot. Okay, I feel better. He'll give you a shot of emunah. Yeah, don't worry. Say Gamzul Tovah. Everything God does is good. Everything's going to work out. You'll see. You're going to get a triple, wow, I can't believe what happened. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. The best thing that happened. Like that, you're going to see. But it takes emunah at the time, not after everything is all good. You go 3 years later, Baruch Hashem, everything worked out, I got a bigger buyer. That's great. But it's at the time. That was your emunah, not after. It's a test. You have to have that emunah. You have to have the bitachon. You have to have that. Sometimes doctors say, we're not sure. The child might have a kidney problem. Oh my goodness, you start you're flipping out. You're going crazy. Rightfully so. You do get crazy, right? But you have to have faith in Hashem. You have to understand. The doctor? Who's the doctor? The doctor's only HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shaliach. He's only Hashem's messenger. You yourself, you have to have emunah at that time. He said, you tell your wife, or your wife tells the husband, whoever's strong in the emunah, I don't know who, but whoever it is, don't worry, honey, everything's going to work out. This is the best thing. We'll work everything out. All of a sudden, the baby's born. Nothing's wrong with the kidney. It happened time and time again. You heard that or no? Time and time again. I know of a person. The person was going to has shalom. They were saying about this baby is this, is that, is this, is that, like a million things to a certain couple. And they had the baby. Baby was 100% healthy. Crazy story. But you have to have that emunah. It's trials, tribulations, tests. But when you do that, you're getting reward in this world, you're getting reward in the next world, because you have that emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So this is what he says over here. Right? The only way you could get to the real world, which is Olam Haba, is how? Through this world. Hu zeh ha'olam. The only way you could get to the real world, which is Olam Haba, the only way you get to the real world is only through being born in this world. It's like, give me an example, right? You want to go to shul. You want to go to shul. The only way you can go to shul is what? Is walking out of your house and getting to the shul. That's the only way. You have to leave your house to get to shul. That's the way. Same thing. In order to get to Olam Haba, in order to get Gan Eden, the only way is you must enter this world. Why am I telling you this? Because it's a famous thing. When Yocheved saw her father, Miriam. Miriam saw her father. Who was Miriam's father? Who knows? Guys. Yeah? Very good. I see we taught you good. Good. Who was it? Amram. And what did he do? He separated from his wife after what? After Paro decreed, no, every baby boy is going to be thrown in the water. So what did he say? He said, wait, if I'm going to have a boy, there's no purpose of being together, because we have a boy, he's going to drown in the river. So he separated from his wife. Miriam came along and says, no, you'd be acting worse than the Paro's decree. He says, why? He says, Paro just decreed what? Just no boys. Now, he could have a girl. Oh, you're right. That was one Tana. He says, he's right. The second thing was, he says, and also, Olam Haba. The only way the child can get to Olam Haba is through being born in this world. So even if you would have a baby boy, he'll go to Gan Eden. So have the baby boy. He's going to take him, he's going to throw him in the water. Okay, but at least he's going to go to Gan Eden. Where do you think he's going to go? Where do you think he's going to go? You have a young kid, a lady, heaven forbid, a million times, a miscarriage. Where do you think the boy or girl is going? Gan Eden. So the only way is through this world. You understand? That's what the rabbis teach us in Pirkei Avot, Perek Daled, that this world is a whole way to get to the real world. This world is a whole way to get to the real world. There was one time a guy was building his house. He says, I want to build an awesome house. So you only have a certain amount of square footage. You know what I'm talking about or no? You only have a certain amount of square footage, you know? Your house is only allowed to be this big, right? Let's say, for example. So the guy tells him, listen, I want to make sure I love the whole way. The whole way I need it to be huge. He says, yeah, but you only have a certain amount. Meaning, if I make your whole way that big that you want it, that means your bedroom is going to be much smaller. And he's screaming at the architect, listen, it's my house, I'm paying you, you working for me? I tell you I want a big hallway? Don't argue with the boss. I want a big hallway. Okay, they design the house, they make the big hallway, they build the whole house. He has a massive hallway, huge hallway. He gets to his bedroom is small. He starts screaming at the architect, why'd you make me such a small? So listen, I told you, if you have a bigger hallway, and you have a smaller this. So the same thing. This world is a whole way to get to the real world. If a person is constantly focusing only on the whole way, he's only focusing on the whole way, what's going to happen to his Gan Eden? What's going to happen to his real world, to his real destination? It's going to get smaller. Right? Well, nobody's telling you not to focus on what you need to focus on. Yes, you need to be healthy. Yes, you need to have parnasah. Yes, you need to raise a family. You need to make sure you're successful in raising a family. Yes, you have to have shalom bayit. Nobody argues against that. But when you're doing that, know the purpose. Know the purpose. The purpose is to understand you're doing Torah and Mitzvot. You know, when you get married and you walk under the chuppah, if you're not married yet, or go back, even if you are married, think, when I walk down the aisle, what are you doing? You're oh, excited, I'm getting married, finally. You are fulfilling one of the greatest mitzvot in history. You're about to mekayem the mitzvah through marriage of mekayem peru urbu. What is peru urbu? The pasuk says, Lo tov bara leshevet yetzara. What does that mean, Lo tov bara leshevet yetzara? Hashem created the world. One of the ways to produce. That's what you're doing when you're getting married. You're doing one of the greatest mitzvot of history. You're starting the mitzvah of being mekayem peru urbu. So it's not just you walking down the aisle. You're not just doing that. You're walking down the aisle to start fulfilling one of the greatest mitzvot of history. That's what you have to be thinking when you're walking down the aisle. You knew that? You didn't know that. When you walk down the aisle, what are you thinking? Oh, I'm getting married finally. Oh, you have to think these things. Life is short. Every single thing that you do, you have to think, I'm doing a mitzvah. Every single thing. You go to work, you're making parnasah, you think. What are you doing? What are you doing for? Parnasah. One time, Havetz Chaim saw a shoemaker. So what are you doing? He's like, I shine shoes. What do you shine shoes? You're making people look good for Shabbat. They walk in. That's what you have to think. I'm doing mitzvah. Putting food on the table is mitzvah. I'm feeding my family is mitzvah. All these things you have to understand. You have to think about it. Every single thing. Going to the bathroom is mitzvah. Taking care of yourself. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're making sure that you're healthy. That's a mitzvah. You understand what I'm trying to say? You understand? Even when you go to die, you're not feeling well. You go to the die. You're doing a mitzvah. Taking care of yourself. This is a person has to know that. You have to know that. You have to know that. And when you do know that, you'll see every single thing that you do, you're doing a mitzvah. It's a mitzvot every single second. You're eating breakfast. Think to yourself, I'm just eating breakfast. I know you're having a crazy breakfast. I know you chocolate chip pancakes, fresh squeezed orange juice, the whole 9 yards, a bagel, and you don't just get it. Bagel toasted, scooped out with the thing and all the toppings inside. Very good. Have whatever you want. But have in mind, I'm doing it for my health, to be healthy. I need breakfast, I need to eat. How am I going to serve Hashem? You got a mitzvah. You got a mitzvah. You got a mitzvah. Before you go to sleep. Sleep is very important. Sleep is very important. You think in your mind, what am I sleeping for? In order to wake up tomorrow. Those 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours of sleep that you're getting, mitzvah every single second. But what? It's just one thought. Before you go to sleep, just think, what am I doing? I'm getting energy to serve Hashem. Wow. You sleeping? Mitzvot, 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 mitzvot. You have to be a mitzvah machine every single second, 24/7. Have a great day.